Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We're excited to be here. Again, I'm Brian Jurwitz with Arrow Payments. We've been helping universities for the last 10 years now, basically manage merchant services, PCI compliance. So we bring tremendous expertise to try to help you understand what it takes to manage these requirements within your organization. And today our goal is to introduce ourselves, talk about some of the needs that universities have, and then walk through our experience. So our goal today is to really walk through everything that we're seeing across universities when it comes to managing merchant services, PCI compliance. We know historically that universities have had individuals trying to learn these aspects and responsibilities within their institutions. We know schools are always looking to hire new folks that can bring these experiences to their team. We also know that it's difficult to find these individuals because we're trying to hire them ourselves. And so it can be very challenging to find the right experience, the right strategies for hiring those folks, and then making sure that your school is meeting all of your requirements in managing both payments, merchant services, and PCI compliance. A little background on us, just so that you understand our experience. We've been, again, supporting universities for a number of years, worked with schools of all sizes across the country. Our focus really is around being a part of your team or those schools who have hired us to be a part of their team so that we can come in and ultimately help manage payment systems. We know all the different vendors that are out there. We don't bring any of our own technologies. And because we work with so many different schools, we've seen how vendors interact with certain situations on campus. We know which systems and solutions work best in different scenarios. And we can also help to manage the PCI responsibilities you have internally that every merchant or every university has to manage regardless of your size if you're accepting payments. And our focus really is universities. We started back in 2005 with working with all different types of institutions and organizations, but over the years, we've realized universities are unique. You're operating like a little city. You have payment systems all over campus. Every department probably has their own software solutions that they're using that connect over to payments, and it can be very challenging to keep your hands around all of that. Then when you add in PCI compliance and the constant evolution of PCI requirements, it becomes that much more challenging to keep your hands around the departments and making sure that everything is being accomplished and taken care of on an annual basis for your PCI compliance and supporting your payments.
So when it comes to the unique challenges of managing merchant services and PCI compliance, the things that we've seen in our experience with working with universities across the country is that managing these specific niche areas is extremely difficult because of decentralized departments and evolving payment technologies. Of course, there's also the concern of security threats and staff and student and donor and customer expectations. So when you roll all of that into one, you have a very complex ecosystem with many different stakeholders who are all working towards different goals, but also, right, working on one university campus to make sure that they are in compliance or working and making sure that everything is compliant.
Understanding merchant services goes much deeper than just understanding how to process payments. Staff and teams need to truly understand the nuances and complexities in order to best support their university's financial operations. This requires an understanding of the relationship between merchants, acquirers, processors, banks, and the major card brands such as Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and Amex. It also requires knowledge of the transaction lifecycle, moving from authorization to batching, and also understanding the various fees like interchange and how different factors influence these rates. Understanding merchant services also means understanding various payment environments, methods of acceptance such as POS systems, e-commerce platforms, and the increasingly popular mobile and contactless payment solutions. And then finally, troubleshooting and reconciliation. This helps with the financial integrity at the university while also providing a positive experience for students and customers. So the university must have robust processes for quickly troubleshooting payment issues and reconciling effectively. Great. And then moving on, we're just going to talk about the payment and merchant services expertise. These are the key responsibilities of those who are overseeing merchant services at the university. So opening merchant accounts, most foundational step in being able to accept electronic payments. This is the process of applying with a processing bank and providing the necessary business and banking information to set up a merchant account. Ordering and implementing credit card terminals, such as those offered by Bluefin, Card Connect, or FreedomPay, takes knowledge and understanding of both the options and functionality. Additionally, the terminals must be compatible with the current university processing systems. Ideally, all terminals on campus are point-to-point encrypted or P2PE solutions, which ensures secure payment acceptance while also reducing PCI scope and protecting sensitive cardholder data. In today's digital landscape, students and university customers, they expect robust e-commerce platforms. This involves managing platforms like TouchNet, Transact, Nelnet, and which are particularly relevant in the higher ed space. And all of the above mentioned responsibilities are important tasks that we here at Arrow also manage for our university clients. Streamlining payments across campus often involves creating a list of university approved preferred third-party service providers. That way, departments can leverage these existing relationships, which adds consistency across the university and lessens the burden of vetting each new service provider for each new request. Managing the university's third-party service providers also includes maintaining a centralized record of these service providers and requesting annual PCI compliance documentation on an annual basis. We at Arrow organize and manage these third-party relationships on behalf of our university clients, and we also assist with requesting and reviewing the annual documentation.
All merchants worldwide that store, process, or transmit cardholder data or could impact the security of the cardholder data environment are required to follow PCI DSS requirements. It's also in the university's best interest to maintain compliance with PCI requirements. This will ensure that your institution safeguards payment data and minimizes the risk of a data breach and fraud. These are key responsibilities that someone needs to manage at your institution and our support services that we provide for our clients. Annual review of vendor PCI compliance documentation ensures the vendor continues to maintain compliance with PCI DSS requirements. There must also be a security awareness training program in place. Self-assessment questionnaires, or SAQs, are compliance documents completed by the merchant and sometimes by the university that include PCI DSS requirements and self-assess compliance or non-compliance with those requirements. If you have online payment processes, vulnerability scanning of university-hosted sites or applications that redirect to payment pages must also be assessed and implemented.
Hopefully this has been helpful for you. We've obviously been living in merchant services and PCI compliance support for a number of years with universities, and we always like to share our experience. If you ever want to reach out to us, if you need help, if you have questions, happy to share our experience with you and try to help you get to where you want to be.